taking the decision to relocate abroad can be very exciting. Perhaps it can even be like a movie thriller, comes a lot of surge, a lot of energy, a lot of intrigue, a lot of suspense. However, with all the opportunities abound traveling abroad, it's exciting, it's interesting, it could be fun, but it comes with lots of challenges. Yes, the excitement that comes from the fact that you are moving from where you used to be, the norm, to a new place, comes a lot of blood surge. So many Africans traveling from their home countries are usually very excited when they take the decision. But nobody actually knows what's happening at the other side. So coming to the other side now, as moving abroad, and now realizing that, wow, things are not actually the way I thought it would be, then the challenges start. If it is your first time seeing me, my name is Michael. This is my channel. Today, we're going to be discussing a very important and delicate matter. It's a discussion that a lot of people will be, standing on their feet, because it's like the heat of the moment, We're going to be discussing the 7 major reasons why African marriages fail abroad. We'll use Nigeria as case study. 7 major reasons why African marriages fail abroad. It's no longer news. It's no longer news that a lot of marriages that were titled beautiful back home in Africa, by the time they get abroad, it's a different story. Like I said, today is the first time seeing my name is Michael. This is my channel. If you're here to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and remember, share, drop your comments, share it so that YouTube will pick it and your algorithm or algorithm rather will share it to others. Let's move on. People struggle. So let's talk about the 7 major reasons. A lot of people when they move abroad, there are lots of shock, struggles, disappointment, surprises. Things like culture shock, things like finances, things like childcare, things like marriages. It's a different ball game. So let's talk about 7 reasons. Number 1 reason I'm going to be talking about today is a cultural shock. Cultural shock and changing in gender roles. Back home in Africa, the males were predominant with taking care of the homes. We know that, especially where it's a Christian home, for instance, where the male is believed to be the head of the family. He will fend for himself, his wife, and his kids. So a lot of homes in Africa, the wives don't even work. Okay, we have lots of housewives back home in Africa. However, moving down to Europe, the UK, the US, Canada, and the likes, is a different ball game. Because by the time you get here, you discover that the man being the head of the family, which was emphasized back in Africa, in the abroad, it's a different ball game. In fact, a lot of families don't see the man as that figure of provisor. It might be seen as a symbol of authority, but most of the ladies, take statistics, they don't see the man as your provider. No, they say it's an equal thing. They say it's gender is equal, there's equality. Therefore, there are laws that ensure that there's equality of genders in the homes, in the society. There are laws that protect both the male and the female. In fact, there are laws that protect the females more than even the males. So the culture shock, by the time you're an African family, a parent, a father, for instance, you move here and you realize that maybe your neighbor next door The wife goes to work, and the father is one taking the kids to school. He's one that does the house chore. He's one that cooks. And when the wife gets back from work, say, darling, how are you? What did you make? You know, it's like a reversal of role. So that shock alone sends panic down the spine of a lot of men. What's happening here? And it's a normal thing. They are used to it as the Western culture, where both parties are equal in the home. So it takes, might take a while for the African man to digest this. The African man, Nigerian, Ghana, and the rest of it, to digest it, because they're like, what's happening here? So that culture shock, because of changing roles, where the woman is even like the head of the family. A lot of families here, the men don't even work. Maybe for whatever reason, it might be on benefits. It might be that the woman is the one that works while the man and actually have something doing. So in such families, a man usually cannot stamp his feet as the head of the family. That's number one. Okay? So we are starting from there. Number two, financial pressures. There are lots of bills to pay in abroad. Whichever country you're in, whether it's US, UK, Canada, Australia, name of France, wherever. Lots of bills to pay. You pay car insurance, road tax, you pay water bill, light bill, council tax, so many tax and bills to pay here. So imagine as an African parent that moves abroad, and probably you don't have a job, you're not entitled to benefits or anything, and you need to pay off this. Probably you're staying in a 2-bedroom flat with your family of 3 or your family of 5. You need to pay all this. So there's a lot of pressure on you immediately you get into the country, because you need to start fulfilling all this. You need to start paying council tax. If you rent a 2-bedroom flat, for instance, you need to start paying council tax immediately. If you own a car, for instance, if somebody gifts you a car so that you'll be able to take your family around, maybe a family of 5 or 6, you have to start paying road insurance immediately. You have to start paying road tax. These taxes don't wait for you. For these taxes are no respecter of persons. So there's a pressure on you immediately you land into the country. So imagine not being able to get a job for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. That's number 2 point. Number 3 points, work-life imbalance. Here in the abroad, everybody has different time scale. Unlike back home in Africa, where a lot of us are used to probably 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 8 to 6, So you are sure that in the nights, you meet your wife, you meet your spouse, your husband. Here, it's not the same thing. Here, there's a lot of day shift, night shifts, evening shifts. So everybody's shift is different. You can work in at any time of the day, of the evening, or of the night. So imagine a situation whereby, okay, both couples, husband and wife, are working, and probably the man works day shifts while the wife works night shifts, and she's going to be on that shift rota for like 6 months. It means you can go 6 months without even seeing your wife. You can go 6 months without seeing your husband. Can you imagine that? So this imbalance, okay, this work-life imbalance, where or you're working a 12-hour shift every day. You hardly see your wife. You guys hardly have time to spend quality time together, to travel, to plan, or to communicate. So a lot of times, maybe when you are getting home is when your wife is leaving, or when she's getting home is when you're leaving, or probably you guys now have kids. That puts even more pressure on you, because it means if one person is working, the other person has to take care of the kids. Yeah, there's no joke about keeping kids. You can't mess around with your kids. If you are a couple with kids, one of you have to spare, you have to be the one to take care of the kids. You can't risk leaving your kids unattended. You can lose them, So, a lot of Nigerians abroad struggle when they get abroad. So this video is going to be a bit long, because this video, a lot of people have asked me to make this video, because of the things that are happening, the news that's spreading here, the challenges that our family members, our friends are facing in the abroad. It's no joke, man. Number 4 point, the influence of Western life culture. Back home in Africa, Nigeria, marriage is sacrosanct. They say marriage is for better, for us. But here, no, there's no such thing. The marriage, the sanctity of marriage you don't hear people talking about divorce, except in extreme cases. But here, you can get married to someone and in 3 months you guys are divorced. It's norm. But back home in Africa, due to culture, tradition, and religion, a lot of religion, that Africans are religious people. Okay? So your religion alone will not will not permit you to talk about divorce. It will not even allow you that. There's submission. Back home in Africa, the woman submits to the man, the wife submits to the husband. But when you get here, you realize that there's a lot of women empowerment. So as a man, you can't mess around. You can't order your wife around. You can't. So the influence of Western culture, in fact, if you're not even careful, your wife might be making more money than you. You might not be working and your wife is working, which means your wife is now automatically the breadwinner. You can't mess around because you have bills to pay. So if the woman is the breadwinner, then she's the breadwinner. So the social by the woman is a breadwinner. You can't control somebody that is paying your bills. You can't be ordering around somebody that is paying your bills. You don't expect somebody that is paying the bills in the home to go work while working, come back in the night and now start preparing food for you. You can't try that here. You can't try it in the abroad. A lot of that happen in Africa. Though a lot of times, a lot of women don't work. The men in Africa allow their wives to have small businesses or to be housewives. They are comfortable with that. So that the woman will have time to take care of the home, take care of the children. But here in the abroad, one person alone cannot pay all the bills. So you realize rather that your wife or your partner also has to work. So you both have to work. So if she's the one working and you are not working, you have to give her the respect that she's due. So there's equality before the law here. That's number 4. Number 5 point. Let's talk about isolation and lack of support structures. Back home in Africa, what we had, we have extended family system, whereby apart from you and your wife, the nuclear family, you have extended family, your grandparents, extended family, your in-laws, and all that. So even when you're in trouble, financial trouble, whatever trouble you are in, you can run to your extended family for support. You have moral support, physiological, psychological, social, cultural, spiritual support. You have them to run to for guidance. Or when you're having issues with your wife or your spouse, your partner, your husband, you have them there as support structure. They'll call you guys, have a meeting, a peace treaty, make peace between the two of you. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Because everybody is busy running like a rat race here so that you can pay your bills. That's your number one thing. The fear of bills in the abroad, in Europe, is the beginning of wisdom. Because if you don't do, for instance, you don't pay your council tax, the council can, you get a court injunction. Yeah, they will summon you for not paying your council tax. You can go to jail for that. Yes. Unlike in Africa, you don't have all that stringent or strict rules. So the family structure, the extended family structure is there to assist you, to help you and your spouse when you're having problems. But in the abroad, it doesn't exist. So these are some of the reasons why several marriages fail. Because you realize that when families start having problems, especially financially, communication drops because you don't even see your partner. Before you know it, gaps, resentment starts happening. You start having financial arguments here and there. You become strangers in your own world. A lot of marriages are failed abroad. The news that we hear is scary. A lot of marriages, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, marriages, they failed because the couple could not withstand the demand of the abroad. Number 6, talk about immigration and legal issues. Immigration is a major issue here, okay? A lot of people, when they come to the abroad, a lot of people come probably to student visa, whereby either the husband or the wife is a student and the other person is dependent. Then after your 1.5 years or 2 years of studying as a student, you now get probably another 18 or 2 years for student post-study visa, right? So what happens after post-study? What if you're unable to get a certificate of sponsorship from an employer? What happens? This is a major problem. So a lot of family, because of immigration visa issues, you realize that in a family, different people might have different visa structure. You might be on post-study visa, while I'm on skilled worker, while the other one is on student visa. So, because probably that's what you could get at that instant. So, your visa, or work, different work permits, for instance. So you can create power struggle, or one person is the principal while the others are dependents. The principal can now become lord over the dependents, and it start creating struggles in the family, resentments. It's a big problem. In fact, the one that is worse about the visa issue, because we've heard a lot of news whereby maybe the wife divorces the husband, or she files for what's it called, marital abuse in the marriage, or for survivor. Some women, when they realize that there's no chance of any visa coming up, probably towards the end of their stay, so instead of going back with the husband the way they came back, going back home to Africa, they can decide to claim abuse. From what we hear, when the woman claims abuse, she'll be given preference by the government, and she might even get asylum in the process. So it's not a case of African Nigerian people understand. It's a case of like survivor of the fittest. Nobody, instead of everybody sinking, the man was like, man, I'm not going to sink, man. I've survived, survival. So the survival mode makes people behave crazy. These are the reasons marriages fail abroad. These are the reasons marriages fail abroad. Number 7 and final reason, poor communication and unresolved conflicts. There's poor communication between a lot of couples here and abroad, in Europe, because number 1, they hardly even see. They are busy with work. They are burdened with responsibilities, especially financial. They are burdened with lots of different stuff so they don't even communicate. Before you know it, there'll be bottled up frustration. There'll be emotional distance. It will not be like a couple rather, living in the same house, now having a long distance relationship. Imagine a long distance relationship in the same house. Is that not ironic? That a lot of that is happening in the abroad. These are the reasons why African marriages break up in abroad. So you have two strangers living together as a couple, not by their own doing directly, but because abroad happened to them. What are the way out? I will advise you, if you are a couple, any couple or a couple abroad struggling, the two of you need to sit down. You need to strategize and plan. You need to start communicating. You need to make it work. If you don't make it work, then you're working out. You need to sit down and have a good conversation with your spouse. The two of you need to sit down and plan. You need to be strategic. You need to save. You need to work together as a team for you to succeed abroad. There's no winner in a losing team. Together, everyone achieves more. That's a team. You have to work together. You have to work together with your partner. You have to work together with your partner. To the ladies out there, to the married women out there, you need to stay with your husband. Okay? There's no point trying to leave a sinking ship. Back home in Africa, we say it's for better, for worse. We survive together or sing together. You will not sing together. So plan with your spouse so that you can survive together and stay afloat. Sorry, today has been power-packed because this is what is happening. Today is probably the longest video I've done in a long while. So, let me have a question for you. If you're married, you're living abroad, and you've been able to navigate this, share with us in the comments. Let us share with us how were you able to navigate all these challenges that moving abroad brings with it. It's exciting. There are lots of opportunities, but of course there are challenges. If you can turn the excitement and opportunities into your favor, to favor you, I tell you, those challenges will be more for you. Use the excitement and opportunities together. I tell you, you will enjoy it being abroad. Then the challenges will just be minus. It's like taking 1 out of 100. You have 99 standing. Once again, if this is your first time, my name is Michael. This is my channel. If you're here to follow me. Give me a thumbs up. Drop your comments. Subscribe to my channel, so that you'll be the first person to get my videos when they drop. Thank you if you have listened to me thus far at this 20 minutes. I appreciate you. Share this video. Share it to your friends, African friends, even our white brothers and sisters. Share it so that people will learn and know what to expect. You need to plan. You need to be strategic. You need to be intentional. Living abroad is intentional. It's not by mistake. Even if you came abroad by mistake, when you are here now, you're intentional. You have to make it work. And that's work in your favor. And God will help you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. God bless you. This land is going to work for you. Cheers.